Come on in.
I found Homefront Build by searching for a firm that had everything in-house and that had experience with older historic homes in Los Angeles.
Homefront Build was the right fit for this remodel because we definitely wanted to keep the historical uniqueness of this 1928 house, but also update it to be more environmentally sustainable and carbon conscious without compromising the history of the house.
So our vision going into this project was really to take this house, which was my great-great-grandparents' house, into a place where we could continue a family legacy of living here, to keep those memories that especially I had of coming here when it was my grandparents' house, but also, you know, make it modern, make it livable, making, you know, a big space for living as a family and cooking and eating as a family, and making spaces for our kids to be comfortable and be able to call their own.
We also were wanting our dream kitchen, so we brought a lot of ideas of past kitchen remodels and how we wanted to do it differently and making the kitchen as amazing as possible. And I thought the team did such a good job of both making our dreams come true, but also sticking to the budget and being realistic about what the space should look like and how to keep it very warm and cozy and not feel like a new part of the house. It still flows really well. One of the strengths of working with Homefront Build, you could have it all, both the beauty and the preservation. You didn't have to compromise anything. I think it came out much more beautiful than I could have expected because how professional they are and their creative vision. It really is amazing to look at their creative work and craftsmanship. If you look around the house, the team made it seamless in terms of the plaster work. It's like art. You really can't tell which walls are new and which walls are old. It's really a seamless transition.
There are architectural details that were original in some places that they copied or echoed in other places that didn't exist before, except for this great room, which was created out of several spaces. Everything else was the original flooring that they uncovered that had been carpeted over, and they refinished the original 1928 wood. All of the doors and lighting fixtures that we were able to reuse, that they had to refinish. And again, some of these were in the same places they originally were. Some of them were in different places, and you can't tell. It looks like the house that I always thought it should be.
So we try to think ahead and build accessible entryways. The ramp is there, just thinking of the future and any accessible issues that may arise. And then the bathroom remodeled the powder room to include a shower because when you're ill, sometimes you can't climb the stairs. And so this way, someone can live on the first floor and not have to compromise. Having a shower downstairs with a zero entry really was part of planning for the future of aging in place and being universally accessible to anyone with a disability. I was surprised when we started the project by picking out the tile first. Picking the tile really sets the tone for every other little decision. It works out when you start with the most beautiful piece and then build around it. The kitchen backsplash was one of the first decisions we made, and then the blue is what turned into the cabinet, and then that turned into, you know, the warm tone of the whole kitchen came from that tile.
It was my grandparents' house. You know, it always felt a certain way, looked a certain way, smelled a certain way. And I still get some of those feelings, but also our dining room, it originally in 1928 was the dining room, but I grew up with it as the television room, full of furniture, not a lot of room to move. You know, there was a wall with a swinging door. Now that it's the dining room that opens fully onto a gigantic kitchen, and so you have that sense of old and new together. The entrance, the foyer, the flooring and the staircase are magnesite, and they just brought it back to what it looked like when it was installed. It feels like it's all of one piece.
So we asked for a pergola to be added on to the backyard. The architects came back with the dimensions, and I was shocked at how big it was going to be, and I worried that it was going to take up the entire backyard. It just came out so stunning. It's like a whole other room outside, and we use it all the time as a second dining room and for friends to come over. It's big enough for entertaining 10, 12 people, and holidays are great out there. So that was one thing that surprised me. So Goli really helped us design the scale of the kitchen. I could not have imagined an island this big, but she was able to really fit a double-sided island into what we originally thought was a tiny space by putting two rooms together to fit this amazing island. She also added this area, the coffee bar area, which originally was going to be a wall of cabinets, and I think it really does break up the space, make it lighter and more airier, and we use this every day, obviously, for coffee in the morning, and it's a really, and charging station for our phones. But it's a really nice addition. Just the amount of counter space and storage that we have is all thanks to Goli. Working with Goli, I love that she always simplified the choices, and that made it a whole lot easier on us. I think it was less stress, and as the project went on, we just developed more and more trust. Last decisions like the door stops, all the tiny little things, mirrors beveled or not beveled. It's been a privilege to work with Goli.
It was really nice being able to rely on someone with a lot of experience and a lot of taste, who, you know, could make recommendations so that we weren't just, you know, flailing with thousands of choices. Everything from paint and fixtures and tile to, you know, big things like, you know, design and build the hood for the stove to echo the original fireplace. The very first contact we had with the company was with Steve. And this was when, you know, we were first entertaining the idea of remodeling and moving. We met with Steve while we were down here on our kids' spring break. Just hearing his experience and what he thought we could do with this place, seeing how practical he was, you know, talking to us about, you know, what was feasible and what wasn't. We worked with him when we had to go in front of the Historic Protective Overlay Zone Board for some changes that were going to be able to be seen from the front, and just having him as our advocate there was instrumental.
I'm glad Steve was on our side when it came to the historical preservation. He knows so much about what is within the historical context, but also energy efficient and environmentally sustainable. I could tell that Steve does not compromise on making sure that we are energy efficient. That was really what impressed me about the first impression with Steve. We have solar panels that go into a generator that helps charge my electric car. So I have a 100% electric car, so we installed a charging station out by the garage, and we get energy from our solar panels. He also improved on the heating and the cooling systems, which were very outdated and not energy efficient at all.